Once upon a time, in a kingdom filled with sparkling castles and lush green gardens, there lived a kind young girl named Cinderella. She was known for her gentle heart and sparkling eyes, but she had a tough life. After her mother passed away, her father remarried, bringing a new stepmother into the house who was not very nice. This stepmother had two daughters of her own, and they were often unkind to Cinderella, making her do all the chores while they lounged about, dressing up and going to fancy parties. Despite being treated like a servant in her own home, Cinderella remained hopeful and sweet, finding joy in little things like talking to the birds and imagining wonderful adventures. But one day, something magical happened. The king announced a grand ball, inviting all the young ladies of the kingdom in hopes that his son, the handsome prince, would choose a bride. Oh, how excited Cinderella was! She dreamily whispered to her animal friends about going to the ball and dancing under the stars. But alas, her stepmother had other plans and would not allow her to attend, instead making her stay home to finish endless chores. The night of the ball arrived, and Cinderella's heart sank as she watched her stepfamily leave, beautifully dressed and laughing while she remained in her dusty dress. However, just when her spirits began to fade, a gentle shimmer of light filled the room, and with a sprinkle of magic, her fairy godmother appeared. With a wave of her wand, she transformed Cinderella's tattered dress into a gown of shimmering blue, sparkling like the night sky, and a pair of lovely glass slippers that twinkled with every step. "But that's not all," said the fairy godmother with a twinkle in her eye. She waved her hands again, changing a pumpkin into a magnificent carriage, and mice into elegant horses, ready to take Cinderella to the ball. But there was one catch: the magic would only last until midnight. Cinderella promised to return before the clock struck 12, as she dashed off to the palace, excitement bubbling inside her. When she arrived, everyone gasped at her beauty, especially the prince, who couldn't take his eyes off her. They danced together, laughing and twirling across the grand ballroom, and Cinderella felt like the most cherished jewel in all the land. Time flew by like a bird, and before she knew it, the clock began to chime. Panic washed over her, and she raced away, leaving behind one of her sparkling glass slippers on the palace stairs. The prince, now smitten, vowed to find the owner of the beautiful slipper. The next day, he set off with his men, knocking on doors throughout the kingdom, trying the slipper on every young lady he met. When he finally reached Cinderella's house, her stepsisters pushed her out of the way, eager to try the slipper, but it was far too small for them. Just when they thought they would succeed, Cinderella called out timidly, "May I please try?" Her stepmother tried to stop her, but the prince insisted. When the glass slipper slipped perfectly onto Cinderella's foot, everyone gasped in surprise. The prince smiled widely, recognizing her immediately as the girl of his dreams. Soon after, Cinderella and the prince were married in a splendid ceremony filled with joy, laughter, and friends from near and far. They ruled the kingdom with kindness, creating a world where happiness blossomed and generosity was treasured. Cinderella also made sure to treat her stepfamily with compassion, hoped they would learn the value of kindness. And from that day on, she lived happily ever after, with all her animal friends beside her, reminding everyone that no matter how tough things seem, a little kindness and a lot of belief can lead to the happiest ever after.